beloved Ascension pioneers. Welcome to my video where I will try to explain more about divine principles of truth and different sacred laws and the difference that actually exists between divine principle truths and sacred laws. Recently I was asked a question from a divine companion, and as you know, I really welcome in those questions that are about our personal expansion and understanding ourselves in a grander soul level, and beyond our spirit self, not just, personal questions to deal with, things that are really coming from the mind, but the aspect of us that really just wants to expand. So I welcome this in. So the question was about the difference between magnetism, the law of magnetism, and the law of attraction, because a person said I mentioned this a lot, about magnetism and just radiating out and being and magnetizing things towards us. And the person wanted to understand this better. So when I started to, because I already have this knowing, but I wanted to bring it through in a form that would be easily understandable for all of us. And I was guided to do a short, quick, automatic writing about this, because I already have this knowing, but my gift was always in writing. When I write down, I always get everything so profoundly and very simplistic as well, because the thing is that it's really important to understand that sometimes a question will just trigger a further unfolding of how your soul will then share those knowings that are already within all of us. As you know, wisdom, illumination is universal. It doesn't belong to any particular master or being or entity. All the masters who were sharing these things, they already were just tuning into that universal wisdom, which is within all that is. It doesn't belong to anybody. So we're just conscious conduits for that as we activate that part of ourselves. So when I tune into this and through the writing, I realized that the real question isn't the difference between law of magnetism and the law of attraction, but it's a deeper understanding. It's not just, you move dimensions and there's a different way of how you radiate and how you attract things to you. There's a very superficial understanding. There's always more. And when I have these writings, remember that the sacred truths are always very simple, but we just need to tune deep enough to get them, to understand them on a deeper level. So the real question isn't just about the difference between the law of attraction and the law of magnetism, but it's about understanding the difference between divine principles versus sacred laws. I'll read you this writing now as I can, and then I will also try to write this up in written form as well for you to see, because sometimes I just add things, make them in a better form. There are many principles of creation, the basic 7, and then moving on to the sacred 12 within the law of 1. Within those principles of creation, which are eternal and always one, are many different sacred laws that apply as regulations for that particular plane and level of dimension of experience or existence. The all-encompassing are only those basic principles of creation, while the sacred laws are entrusted upon those who are experiencing a particular plane of existence. One particular example would be the Earth's free will sacred law. This sacred law varies on different planes, and where it is not needed for a particular experience, it simply no longer exists. It's not needed. So the sacred laws only are applied where they are needed, while the principles, sacred truths of creation are applied everywhere. They are ever present. They're not merely applied, they're all permeating, all encompassing, and all existent. They are that which holds all of the creation together, no matter what the relating experience or level of being. There is no comparison between the principles of creation and sacred laws anyway. Why? Because the sacred laws are deeply intertwined and interconnected into the divine principle. It's like a subparticle. And these divine principles already make up the whole of existence anyway. So divine principles are fully of source nature. The divine mind, divine intelligence, the supreme being, the absolute, and this is pure divine will. Only our God self, our spirit form, exists there. Our soul and our body personality do not. So we have spirit body, soul body, personality body, the three sacred levels. The sacred laws are then created for our soul body and the personality body to experience. There are many of such sacred laws, and the law of attraction being merely one of them. The compare two examples of magnetism versus the law of attractions are simply two sides of the same coin, but the experience of being is different. When our focus is placed on the personality aspect of our being, the law of attraction is used and experienced. Through this experience, when we are on that level, of course, we can know about ourselves more. So we begin to, question our journey, and we start opening up more. And this is what all these sacred principles, the sacred laws actually serve in order to deepen the experience when one is ready. So, this is then used in experience. Through this experience, we can know about ourselves more, like I said. And as we do, and as we take the next step into our expansion, we can enter the realm of our soul self. So moving on from the personality body to the soul body. When we come to understand the nature of that level, we understand that we are pure magnetism. We are essences that radiate, and when we not just know of that, but also live and experience our soul self, we enter the realm of creating through more magnetism. This is the focus on our conscious soul emanation, our soul essences. So to sum it up, the experience will only be different because awareness has changed. The focus has then, where it is placed, and through your soul awareness then changes all of your experiences. And we are at another level of expansion, so therefore our focus changes in the experiential state as well as the direct consequence of this. So to say, divine principles of creation hold all of life and creation together through the law of the one, the unity consciousness. In that unison, there are many different levels of experience as the sacred laws as well. One can feel and witness this on their own ascending journey as something that once worked for them no longer does. So this is what you will notice in your journey. Something that worked in your own manifestation level of experience just doesn't apply anymore, and you're thinking you're doing something wrong or something but it's just you entering another level of your experience and mastery. So this is because their focus, being, presence exist on a different level now, so therefore a new set of rules and regulations apply there. This then leads to a journey of self-discovery and personal ascension path, which is deeply personal for each one, and yet it is one within the always and all-permeating sacred principles of creation. Thank you, Spirit, for this beautiful writing, and thank you all, guys, for tuning in. I will try to keep it short, but I want to mention something. In this Gemini period, there's a lot of knowledge, information, learning, higher truths coming through for all of us. And for me personally, I always knew that my path was that of self-mastery, and I already did a lot of conscious downloading about this, and Spirit always sent me what was needed on my path. And I didn't yet, I was creating a lot of things, I have thousands of articles already, so many written pages of material and oracles and all of that, but I never really focused on personal products. So today I was just sitting, in the middle of the river on this stone, and I wanted to do something, but something else came instead. All of a sudden it just began to download, and I began to receive, and it was about creating like personal products that would really be for those who are more conscious of their self-mastery. So for now, this is just a seed in my awareness. I'm going to see how it unfolds. There's no fixed timeline in when this unfolds and when it's going to be ready, but I will place more focus there. And as you know, as we embrace the path of self-mastery through commitment and devotion, a lot of times things that are not within that devotion, those maybe who are not really eager to really learn in that way, to really remember and the truth, to walk the path of truth, the way of one, those people will fall off. Things go away, they move on, and maybe we'll be more focused in terms of those who are really guided and who really want to walk this path and do make that conscious soul choice. And I want to really be there as creating these products and assistance for those individuals who do. I already received guidance last year. I don't know if you're with me that long, but last year was something about Ascension groups, so those individuals who really committed and devoted. And now, in this time, it started coming up more strongly with more focused guidance. Sometimes we receive through these light packages that are just like steps, step-by-step preparation. And while the whole goal is actually grander, so it's not like you do this now. It's like a grander thing that needs more preparation and more devotion. So for me, I would definitely be guided to do a sequence of videos that are about the I Am teachings, the I Am truth, the sacred rays of creation and creation divine principles. And for those who really want to go deeper into that, I've shared a lot in my videos, but this would be deeper. there's already a lot of teachings about this, but there's immense amounts and books and heavy pages which not everybody wants to read. I want to make this very approachable to everybody in a simplistic way, you know, kind of like you have a lot of things, you know, many pages all coming together into one simplistic form of understanding your true self and different levels of our existence. And because when we do, we can so easily navigate our experience because we have awareness, we live in illumination. So I'm probably gonna, I don't know when, I really don't know when, this is the beautiful part of it, but it will come through as the package of self-mastery. This will be probably be available to receive either a download or through links that would include a few videos that would be devoted videos on these higher topics that, of course, it's not for everybody. It's for those who really want to work and go deeper in that. And a light activation for our self-mastery journey, and maybe a few bonuses, and that's how I vision it right now. Also probably including a booklet, a PDF format that would just have my basic teachings that I already share that are about the sacred ways of truth, which I have so much about. I would just have to compile them all into one, and there was many people already asking me about this. I will see, you know, I'll just see guidance step through step. But definitely, I know this is a path that just, you know, the deeper you go, the more narrow the path becomes, and really those who are eager to be sacred initiates of the truths are going to just stay and be with you. And I know how this is, so I don't have any worries about the process. Sometimes it's just, you got to be true to what Spirit guides you to do. So I'm really excited about this. I will see, probably gonna, you know, summer, there's lots of time to read and catch up, and I do need to, you know, to see and what's out there, but bring it through my own Spirit guidance in a very manageable, understandable form. This is my goal for now, and we will see. So thank you for being with me. So much love, beauty, grace, wisdom, and power, of course, as always. Take care. So much love. Bye. Recently, I was guided to take this book with me on my hikes, and I found this part that I wanted to include in this video because it talks about the spiritual laws. And I want to read you from the book, and I hope you can hear me well. It says something about the spiritual laws, and it's connected to the cosmic pyramid in Greece. There's a lot of key portals and meanings, the keys to the universe in this book, and a lot of the things are really resonating. So if you are guided to that, I recommend it. There are 33 spiritual laws and 3 transcendent laws. The key is the wisdom of Orion, which is about the spiritual laws of the universe. The spiritual laws are great immutable energies that enable everything to work in perfect divine order. They're held energetically within the Greek pyramid under the Parthenon. This is what I usually talk about, you know, everything being encompassed in them. You know, they like the glue to everything. The 33 spiritual laws were laid down by the high priest taught in Atlantis. They were also taught by Horus, who led the Babylonians. The 3 transcendent laws were decreed by Source, for they hold divine qualities which override all other energies in the divine scheme. So this is the part which I said, you know, the main principle. It's like the basic, you know, when you move on from the unity consciousness, and then it just spreads out. You know, I talk about the law of 1, and then the merging of the 3, and then it becomes the 7, and then it becomes the principle of 12. So the spiritual law of attraction, I think this really is something important here, and it also adds up to what I was saying before. Some of the spiritual laws can be used in the 3rd dimension, but there is a karmic consequence. You know, when you use something that is not in the highest order, you want to attract it, but you don't yet operate within the consciousness that, you know, is within divine will. So they only work energetically in alignment with your soul in the 5th dimension. This is when you move beyond that, you know, the ego separate self and how you want it. One such is the spiritual law of attraction, which is so much discussed in our time, as you know, a lot. This spiritual law states that when you focus on what you desire without doubt or deviation, it must manifest. In the 5th dimension, you only ask for a wish if it is for the highest good. Well, actually, you don't even have to ask for a wish, you just feel, because you're already tapping into all that is through that humble self which is merged with the divine will. You are prepared to hand it over to the angels and let it go if it is not in accordance with divine will. Then it comes to you in perfect divine way without attracting any karma. The Atlanteans knew this and used the law appropriately. So I'm going to read you about these transcendent laws now. there are these three transcendent spiritual laws laid down by God, the all that is, which supersede all other laws. So these are like the main three, divine trinity. These are based on very high frequency divine energies which transmute and dissolve all that is not love and light. First one is the law of faith. If you trust God to such an extent that you have total faith in an outcome, it must come about. Faith allows the impossible to become possible. It opens the way for miracles. Listen to your intuition and trust it. That is the foundation for faith. So this is the law of trust. This is when you have absolute trust in life. But you need to open up to that level of life, which is pure source. The second one, the law of grace. Unconditional love, compassion, mercy, forgiveness, open-hearted generosity, and empathy are divine qualities which confer grace. But I would also add humility. When you offer these qualities to others, you receive grace from the divine. And grace is our natural state within that divine trinity, love, wisdom, power. The law of one is the last one here. Duality is a teaching tool to encourage us to reach for the light. In the fifth dimension and above, we know we are all part of God, yet we are all different. So this is the uniqueness aspect that I'm always talking about. We accept and honor the divine in others and ourselves. So the color to this portal, or a key to the universe, one of them is the shimmering light of the pearl. And you also can attune to the sound of these spiritual laws, just thinking about it. And also the cosmic pyramid in Greece, which is beyond the Parthenon. There's much more, of course, but this is one aspect that I felt really simply describes this. There's other things here, but I won't go into them because it's not my own work. But if you feel guided towards this, this is the book. So thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.